Hey Al, I have a couple questions for you. I was wondering if you would lend me your opinion um, in order to help me. So, I'm prepared. Obviously, I know this. All I can do is talk about it because I fixate on things. So, I'm moderating a panel at VidCon because there's a troll in the dungeon, and I have a few questions for you. It would be helpful um, to get your take and opinions and answers for these. It would be helpful for my moderating skills. Now, for anybody out there who is, there are going to be people who take my questions the wrong way, just because of the nature of those people. So, hello. I know that some anti-fem people watch this channel. That's fine. I welcome you. I'm totally okay with it. Most of you tend to express your dissent respectfully, which is great, or you just observe, which is totally fine. I don't mind. I'm happy you're here. I really don't. As long as you're not being horrible or violent in the comments, you know, I think that you can definitely be here. It's fine with me. If anything, it's great because it gives me a challenging perspective. So if you're a skeptic or you're an anti-fem, please listen very closely to the things I'm about to say. And don't try to overgeneralize them or take the things I'm going to say out of context, because it will only push me further from agreeing with you or seeing your side. So here are my questions. So these are some questions I was wondering if all of you would answer, not just the anti-fem people. If anything, I'm worried that the anti-fem people will answer and they will take my questions the wrong way. So here we go. Question number 1. I was wondering, what are some methods that you guys use to keep your YouTube channel comments a safe space? We can blacklist words, is an example. We can have channel moderators. We can disable the comments if the whole comment section becomes too toxic. I'm not saying I advocate for any of these things. Personally, I think often disabling comments can do more harm than good. But that's just another tool we have if we want to do that. We can use the Vlogbrothers plus method, where we only engage with and we vote up positive comments. So these are the 4 ways I've come up with that involve making a comment section a safe space. And we don't even have to use the word safe space if that gets your panties all in a wad. We could just say if it makes the comment section a little kinder, a little healthier, a little brighter. And there's nothing fucking wrong with wanting a kind, healthy comment section. I'm not saying that your comment section has to be kind and respectful. If you want a super toxic comment section, more power to you. If I don't, I'm allowed to not want that. And I'm allowed to do something about that. I also don't think people who leave mean or simply rude comments should be thrown in jail, or all their free speech should be censored. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't take it there. I'm so sick of... I know a lot of anti-fems are great, and great in the way that they can, listen to the things I say and provide their perspective in a calm, considerate way. But so often, anti-fems take what I'm saying completely out of context, and it's just, can you tell it gets on my nerves? So, I'm not trying to censor anyone's, I'm not trying to take away anybody's free speech. I'm just trying to make my channel's personal comment section a little kinder, which is something I'm allowed to do. And if you try to stop me, then you're taking away my right to control my channel, aren't you? So anyway, again, the question is, how can we make our comment section a safe space? I provided 4 examples. Can you think of any more? And then the second question I have for you is, if you guys had to make improvements on YouTube's harassment policy, what would you have any improvements? Do you have any criticism of it? If you were to offer any advice or any improvements for how they were to deal with or filter out harassment, what would you say? If you could change the YouTube harassment policy, how would you change it and why? So for example, I think a cool thing would be, so I recently had somebody on Twitter make like 30 new accounts. We would talk, they would say something horrible, I would engage with them for a second. I wouldn't immediately go to blocking them, but like they would just get worse and worse. And not just like disagreeing. I don't block disagreement. Again, I can already just hear the anti-fems fucking ringing in my head. I don't like automatically block all disagreement. But I do block, like, when people say that my wife and I's marriage is, like, super dirty. And I don't, like, think they should be thrown in jail. I just, like, don't want them in my Twitter feed. So, like, I choose to block them because I can. So, for example, I had this person who just, like, kept coming back at me and saying that they were just totally wrong to begin with. They were also saying that my wife and I weren't, like, married. And I was like, no, we're married. And they're like, no, you have a civil union. And I'm like, well, why does it say marriage certificate? Just because you want to call it a civil union doesn't mean that's, like, what my state calls it. So, like, not only were they being disrespectful, but they're also just wrong. So I just, like, eventually went on to blocking them. And then they would make a new account, and then I would engage with them for, like, 2 interactions and then block them. Anyway, this happened, like, 30 times. They made, like, 30 accounts with 30 different variations of my name. It was very impressive. They were quite obsessed and dedicated. So, this has to do with Twitter. But, like, it can relate to YouTube as well, because you can block people on YouTube, and then they can, like, there's no real ramification. They can keep coming back and make a new, like, make a new account. So I think, like, if I had to offer, like, some kind of cool change, it would be not blocking by username, but, like, it would be super dope if we could block by IP address. That would be neat. That way this person, let's call them Cindy. Cindy kept coming back, making new accounts, bothering me. That way, if I blocked Cindy once, I would never have to block Cindy again, because Cindy would, like, have to get a new computer to bother me, and that would be dedication. So if you had to offer, so again, if you're an anti-fem who really enjoys being disrespectful in the comments all day long, great. I don't think you should be arrested, but, like, don't mind me if I might not be thrilled to have you in my comment section. That's just me. So again, the questions are, what are some techniques that creators can use to keep their comments, like, respectful or kind or, you know, non-violent? And also, if you had to, like, improve YouTube security or YouTube's harassment policy in any way, what would you do? What advice would you offer YouTube? What changes would you make? If you'd answer those questions, it would be incredibly helpful to me. If you don't want to, you also don't have to. I'm super tired. That is why my eyes are half closed, and that's why my cheeks are really red. Finley is asleep. It's really late at night. I have to go to bed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Remember how Grace made a video about how I have a lot of anxiety? It's true. Can you tell? I'm kind of like... just like at the end of my chain. Alright, goodbye!